Hello there everybody, it's me, a Minecraft YouTuber here, back with another Minecraft video. Hope you're doing well today, episode number 33 of the Minecraft Guide. So, we're back over at the custom desert village that we've been working on. In the last episode, we built the town itself. Now, I don't know, I know I'm a little biased, but I think this village ended up looking pretty nice. I still definitely need to fix those buttons though, those definitely need fixing. Now, for those of you wondering, Pam is doing really well. Now, something kind of ironic happened in between episodes this time. I was over at the stone cutter, cutting stone, well, actually sandstone, then a creeper walked up on me and blew up. The creeper blew up a bunch of the sand in the original stone cutter. So, sorry to inform you, but this stone cutter is an imposter stone cutter. It's nowhere near as good, but, I mean, it works, but I definitely do miss the old stone cutter. I thought that was kind of weird, though. See, I don't know, but I kind of took it as a sign. Today, we're going to make sure something like that never happens again, because it could have been much worse. I mean, my banner could have gotten blown up, I could have gotten blown up, that would have been bad. Today's episode is going to be all about making this village safe. Now, the project is really just about protecting things, so the stuff we're talking about really applies to anything. This could apply to our town base, it could apply to, I don't know, some kind of random build that you're doing in your world. Really, the point of the episode is just getting rid of the bad guys. And now, to keep the bad guys out of this town, we have to do two big things. Thing number one is cut the town off from the outside world. That means we need a wall where all of this red wool is. The villagers, you see, are peaceful, unsuspecting creatures. They just don't know what's out there. There's lots of bad things, like cactus, zombies, and witches, that villagers probably won't be able to handle, if we're being honest. So a wall will do a great job of keeping villagers inside and bad guys outside. Then, after we build a wall around the town, we're going to have to go inside of the town and eliminate all areas that hostile mobs could spawn. Because if one zombie spawns in here, this town will pretty much become a zombie village. And then it'll become an abandoned village, because zombies are not that smart. They will probably get burnt up in the daylight, and that means all of our villagers are gone, which is big bad. So, before the episode, I did actually go ahead and get a bunch of sandstone for this wall build, and I brought other materials over here so we can work on the project. Now, I do have a pretty good idea as to what I'd like our wall to look like. It's just a matter of actually implementing it and making sure it looks good when placed. It looks really good in my head, so we'll see if it ends up looking as good. Now, the entrance to the town is this green area over here. We'll build a bridge, we'll have a path. On either side of the entrance, I think we should probably do some sort of entrance building or tower. Now, these towers should be probably 5 by 5 blocks, but that's really just a random guess. 5 by 5 blocks should give us more than enough room to create something that looks cool. In all honesty, these will probably end up just being towers that we actually can't go inside of, because, I mean, what would be the point? The villagers won't be standing there and opening the gate. It's just not going to work like that, so they'll probably just end up being decorative. So that means we have a 5 by 5 building there and another 5 by 5 building on the other side of the bridge. Now, let's go ahead and start with the wall over here. I think this side is actually going to be a little bit more difficult than the other side will be. But cheers, I kind of needed you, so thank you very much. So we should definitely move the red wool. The red wool was just an estimate as to where the wall will be. We'll probably end up going off, well, we'll definitely end up going off of our estimate today and putting the wall where it actually should be. So the wall, I think we should have 3 wide sections of spruce planks, but these shouldn't be solid sections. We definitely need to leave windows in the wall. If I don't put windows in this wall, it's going to look like a prison, and my villagers did nothing wrong. They're just needing to be protected because, well, they're not that smart. So 3 wide sections with windows. For this build, we'll actually use cut sandstone. Cut sandstone looks really good and really strong, and I actually don't think we used it at all in this whole town, which is kind of a bummer because this block is beautiful. Now, of course, you already knew this was going to happen. We're going to put some arches in this wall too, because arches are beautiful. So we'll have something that looks like that, arches going over the windows. And by the way, in these windows, we'll probably do fences. Fences would look a lot better than glass panes here. And then finally, well, not finally, but down here, I think we'll do oak logs sticking out of the wall. These oak logs will match the spruce pretty much perfectly. And then maybe we can do buttons on top of these. That would look really nice, or on the front of those. But the top of the wall. So that's where things kind of get stalled a little bit. I think I have an idea, but this is a big thing. I definitely don't know for sure. So let's say maybe the wall goes... I mean, we could go straight up from there, maybe. Big maybe. But what if we did like a castle look up here, and then on the inside we could just do flat sandstone place just like that. Now, we don't actually need to be able to walk on top of the wall, but we'll probably end up making a way so we can. The villagers definitely shouldn't be up here though, because then they could just walk right out of the town. But what do we think about that? You see, I like it. I do like it, but it's very flat feeling. So what if instead of putting the castle parts right there, we actually pushed all of these out by 1 block? Would that help, or would that look bad? So then we end up with something that looks like that. Yeah, right off the bat, I think that is a whole lot better. We can maybe even come in with some fences or walls in there, sandstone walls. I don't know about that though, but yeah, definitely. That looks so much better. So let's go ahead and go with that for the flat portions of the wall. On the inside, we could probably honestly just come in here and do sandstone pillars going up like that, and then maybe a sandstone staircase, and that should probably maybe do it for the wall and make it look good from the inside. Kind of hard to tell, but I think that would work. Maybe we could even get even fancier and do like a staircase right there, and then maybe even staircases on the outside. I don't know about on the outside though, but yeah, I think that looks good for the flat portions, but this whole wall won't end up being flat. So let's go ahead and do one more flat section there. Then we have to actually do a turn. Now, we're going to do a lot of terraforming in today's episode as well. Instead of having our wall jump down in weird portions, we'll raise the land, and then we'll do giant, I guess the best way to describe it is giant pillars where the wall will actually lower. So basically, we'll curve the wall and have it go over like that, and we'll build it up. Probably no windows here, unfortunately, but then we have a weird area like this. Now, I think here we'll do... gosh, I don't know. This is where things kind of fall apart. Maybe we could go 3, right? And we'll do like a pillar that goes up a little higher than the wall. Then, down here, we'll actually terraform all of this down to the lowest layer. So down here, and the wall will continue. So basically, we'll use these giant strong pillars to create a jump in the wall. So then this wall will go on this layer all the way down and around the town it'll go all the way over to that hill. Then we'll do another pillar, and I'll pick a good spot to put the wall and continue the wall on that side. Now, fortunately, on the other side of the town, back there, everything is already pretty much level, which makes this side way easier. So we do have low points like this, but I can easily come in here and fill things in with sand and raise this 2 blocks. That's not a big deal. Right here, I could lower things 1 block, and that'll make things even easier. So let's actually just go ahead and lower all of that right now. That'll probably end up being the plan. Then this area will get filled in and raised all the way up to this layer, so the wall doesn't have to dip around. And the wall will continue over this way towards the front, and then we can worry about the wall being moved up right at the end, if it has to. I think it will. Maybe, or maybe not, because we'll be raising this by 1. And then that needs to be lowered by 1. Yeah, no, wow. We might actually, that actually might all be good. So it's really only that side over there. Now, clearly, this build is going to take a lot of sandstone today, so we'll probably, just like in the last episode, patrol, hi. Just like in the last episode, I'll probably be going over to where I get my sandstone from to get more. Now, of course, if I were to do this all as sandstone in here, these little pillar areas, things probably wouldn't look very good. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a touch of orange going up, and the orange will actually kind of match the storage building over there, which is cool. Not intentional, but cool. So the orange goes up to, I don't know, maybe here, and this will basically just be a square thing. We'll, on the inside, we'll just do this, I think. If the wall lines up, probably, I'm sure it will. We'll probably just do something like that. It'll go straight up, and that should work. But first, let's go ahead and get this wall in. So let's see. This part of the wall is good. That looks cool. The only thing is this weird connection over here. So maybe we do... no other way. Maybe we do a staircase just like that to kind of cap that off. I think that's a fine kind of end to that portion. Then we have the turn. That looks pretty good to me. I think it looks pretty cool. It fits. It's a nice turn. Then we have this section over here. The first, I guess, strong pillar. So we do something like that. We have the orange in the middle. That looks cool. I could definitely come back in and change the sandstone around though, just like what we did on the storage building. So maybe like random sandstone parts in there. That would be cool. Then the inside. So the inside isn't really going to be much of a thing at all. There actually won't be anything inside of these towers, at least right now. Or maybe, you know what, actually, maybe one of these towers are... some still maybe two. Maybe they'll be the way up on top of the wall. I really don't know. We'll see. But on top of the tower, I think we should probably continue the castle thing. So something like that. That could look good. And then maybe... no, maybe I should come back in here with spruce slabs, so it's not even with that. That would probably look better. So, on top of the tower, we do spruce slabs in here that will prevent spawns, but I am aware that spawns will happen on these blocks, so we'll have to probably come back in and maybe put, like, birch buttons on here to stop the spawns on top of the wall. That should look fine. I think, I don't see why it wouldn't. But, tower, right here, that's good. And now, after the tower, this is the important part. I think it'll work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but basically, we need to continue this downwards and the orange as well and drop the wall down a few blocks. Should work. Might look a little weird, but I don't think it'll be that big of a problem because it's just a turn of a wall. Like, I mean, it can't go too wrong, right? So over here we end up with a terrain that kind of looks like that. I might come back and terraform it more, and we'll definitely end up adding stuff in between the monorail and the town because it's really empty, but we'll do that later. But anyways, we have the hill kind of going down, and then it drops all the way down and gets really flat, and then somewhere in here, maybe, how did I do it on the other side? Okay, so actually right here, we'll use this as the first pillar on the new wall. So 1, 2, 3, and then another one, and then 3, and another one, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now, I'll have to get creative in here and do some turns. So maybe right here, we just go ahead and turn that all the way out to there. Maybe I do a crazy one and have it wave all the way back. I don't know. But basically, time for me to go ahead and get most of the wall in and terraform the inside so it actually makes sense on the wall. I did do a pretty good job in this area. I didn't have to do much, but I think it looks pretty good. That's exactly what I'm going for, but I'll have to work on these areas and in this area. But yeah, time for me to go ahead and build the wall now that it is all officially laid out and makes a lot of sense, at least to me. So wish me luck. I'll be back soon, at least very soon. Would you take a look at this? This is kind of interesting. This wall lines up perfectly with the building on the inside. So you know what? I think I'm actually going to go ahead and leave the window in the building. Initially, I was just going to pull all of these back windows out, but that's kind of cool. Now, the wall is currently about halfway done, actually. The halfway point would have been, I think, right... it's actually right here through this window. So, making pretty good progress. Now, this is what we have from the outside. I'll give it another shot a little later on. And then from the inside, we have this. So I decided to take some of the slabs off of the design to basically conserve materials, but also make the thing look a little bit better. I think with the wall like this, that looks a lot more solid, and it looks like the sandstone is holding the wood in, so I kind of like it. Now, over here, we'll probably make some kind of back garden or something. I think that could be cool, or maybe something else, but overall, I think the wall design is pretty solid. So I'm going to go ahead now and finish the rest of the wall up, just continue the project. Thankfully, I think, I still have to double check, but I think I'm on one layer now for the rest of the way. Let's go ahead and check that, actually. One layer. Yup, okay. I gotta terraform this area, and then Yeah, we're pretty much on one layer. The rest of the way around here, oh yeah, we are, which is amazing. So no more tall pillar things, even though I think they look really cool. I like how they ended up. They add a bit to the town, which is kind of cool. And it looks like the monorail is like connecting the two. Kind of cool too. But anyways, time to go ahead and finish up the build. Oh boy, you joined me at the perfect moment. So, the wall build is now completely complete. It took a long time, like a really long time, but it was pretty easy to do, which is nice. But here is the wall. I also started terraforming out here, but the wall itself, in my opinion, looks pretty good. Now, I didn't go ahead and put buttons on the caps of the logs. I still am thinking about doing that because I think it would look really nice and it would add a lot of detail, but the wall over here on top of it does have a lot of buttons. So I went ahead and blocked all of the spawns already on the wall going all the way around the town because, I mean, that's something that we're going to have to do anyways today. But there is one big thing that I'd like to point out to you guys. Maybe you'll notice it, maybe you won't. To notice it, we'll have to go over here. So, take a look. You notice anything? The left or the right? See, I didn't realize, but the walls are actually uneven on the left-hand side and the right side. Big whoops there, gamers, but I mean, it's okay. It's a wall, it works, and I mean, it's fine. It doesn't make that big of a difference. Now, I have been working on these entrance pieces right here. Don't really know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest. I was trying to do maybe like red showing through, and then we have smooth sandstone in here, but I'm thinking that if I do this, then I'm probably going to have to change things. Like, maybe if we go over to the stone cutter and cut ourselves some staircases out of these blocks, maybe we'll have something that'll work a little bit better. I don't know. I've been messing with it for a while off camera, and I can't really figure it out. Maybe that's better, though, because then it looks like we have these cross beams going across, which is kind of nice. No, I'm out of these slabs. I was going to say more down there. Whoops. But yeah, I have to figure something out for these towers. Definitely not liking the top of the thing. Not too sure. Maybe in here I could come back in and do the random sandstone mixtures that I did on the big strong towers. But I think we're going to actually abandon the entrance gate for now. I know. Yeah, we're just going to stop there. Oh, by the way, I will be doing doors on these things though and having ladders so we can climb up to the wall. But yeah, we're going to abandon those for now and start talking about removing spawns inside of the town because this is a really big job. So, first things first, I think we're going to need to basically just clear out the inventory a little bit because I don't really need all of this stuff. I might need those though. Then I think it's time to make probably a bunch of lanterns. Lanterns are one of my favorite lighting block in the game. Lanterns are they're just amazing looking. Now, I think what we should do is pretty much start removing the spawns top down. So we'll go from rooftop to rooftop and get rid of all spawning areas. Now, removing spawns in Minecraft is tricky, but it's also really easy. So on Java Edition, press F3, you get all of this information right here. Now, right there, that number right there where it says 6 block right now, that's what we're looking at. Sometimes the block lighting will be different than your client light number. You want to look at the block lighting number because that's the true lighting level of this block. So at nighttime, when the sun is gone, this block that we're standing on will have a light level of 3. 3 is basically the big bad. We cannot have a 3 in here because that means a zombie could definitely spawn. Hostile mobs can spawn at a light level of 7 or less, so we need to get all of the lighting levels above really 7 or 8 to be safe. So we're looking for 9s everywhere across this whole town. That's a big job. So to start off, we can place a lantern right here, and this block is moved up to a 14. That is very good. Then we can move around the rest of this roof and see we have an 8 over here. So maybe we put another lantern, gosh, I don't know. Maybe we hang this one from right there, and the light will actually travel up here, and we will pretty much be good other than this front area. So then we'll realize maybe that wasn't the best spot, and we'll put a lantern right there, and we'll go ahead and remove that lantern. We need to be smart about how we're doing things. Now this awning is dark right here. But instead of putting a lantern on that awning, because that would stand out a lot, I think we can do a different trick. Now, lighting isn't the only way to stop hostile mob spawns. You can actually stop mob spawns with other things as well, such as slabs. Like these slabs right here, if these are on the bottom half of a block, well, mobs can't spawn on the bottom half of a block, so spawns won't happen on these blocks no matter what the light is. If I removed all of these, or these 2 lanterns, then spawns wouldn't happen here, and they won't happen in here either because I was smart before. Now, slabs aren't the only way to block spawns, though. We can actually use carpets over here to block spawns altogether. Hostile mobs can't spawn on carpets because, well, I guess because the carpets are into the block a little bit, like, if that makes sense. Like, they could spawn here, but then the carpet kind of goes into the next block, kind of like a slab. So, yeah, carpets will block hostile mob spawns, which is good. So, this building, or at least the top of it, is entirely spawn-proofed now. Now take a look at the wall all the way around the town. Torches are disgusting. They're ugly. They're terrible looking. They're just really, really, really ugly. And, yeah, your guy went ahead and did a lot of them on the wall because I think they match the desert theme. Usually, I say that you should never use torches. Torches are terrifying looking, so just be good and skip them, but that's not the case here. We used a lot of torches on the wall because, I mean, it needs to be safe in here. It has to get done somehow, and I don't have an iron farm still, so we're going to use the torches to block the spawns. So, building number 1 done. Now, I think we should probably, well, you know, I could go, you know what, yeah, let's stick going roof to roof. So, I'm going to go ahead and sleep. Roll it over to the daytime because it is kind of too dangerous over here right now to let mobs spawn. So we're going to sleep, roll it over to the day, and start taking on the next buildings. So, rooftop number 2. Oh boy, this one's going to be tricky because it's big and flat and open. Oh wait, it's not, because I pre-planned things. This is on a slab, so we're good. But we still do have a few blocks that we need to block spawns on, like this one right here. Now, instead of placing torches or lanterns on this roof, let's do something different. So, buttons would work for blocking spawns like we did all over the wall, but I'm kind of tired of the buttons. We would be able to see the buttons pretty obviously right here, so instead, we'll do pressure plates. Pressure plates are another block that can block spawns and will block spawns. Now, thankfully, because of how I did this roof, we only have 4 blocks to block spawns on, and those are now done. Hostile mobs will not spawn on staircases, so these blocks over here, that's good, and again, they won't spawn on slabs. So this roof is actually entirely done as well. On to the next one. So the next one is this one over here. Let's go ahead and start by, I think, placing a lantern right there, and this block is 11. That's good. That's 11 as well. Then maybe another lantern right there to bring things up, and then finally one more over there, and this whole roof is good as well, which moves us over to this one right here, which I guess I never finished. I'm missing 1 block right there. Now, I think we're going to do things a little different on this roof. Let's go ahead and jump inside of here and then build this. We're going to put a slab right there, and then we need to make the slab kind of connect over to the wall. So if we do that, and that, we're good. That's a good setup. Then we need to craft something. So we need to go ahead and grab a bunch of slabs, and then we actually need to go over here and make a campfire. Campfires let off a lot of light and will be perfect for blocking the spawns on top of this roof right here. I think entirely. I'm not 100% sure, but it should work. So slab right there, campfire right there. Now the smoke comes out of the building to make it look like somebody's cooking inside, which I really, really like. Now up top here, we are actually on slabs, so we're good there. But over here, 11, 11, 11, 11, and a bunch more 11s. That is good. But what about these blocks right here? 10, 9, 10, 9. Okay, we're good. This building is blocked entirely, I think. Yeah, definitely. So, again, carpets over here, mobs won't spawn. We're already good there. So that means about, well, really this whole half of the town, when it comes to buildings, spawns are now officially blocked. So as you can see here, blocking spawns is really not that bad at all. It's just a tedious job and really requires a little bit of thinking outside of the box, like on that building with the pressure plates that you can barely even see on those corners. Now, this building is the next one. So up top, we're going to have another like villager station. There'll be workstations and stuff up here, so we'll put lanterns on the ground. Those will add to the setting. Then on these blocks, I think just to add actually a little bit of detail, but also to block spawns, we'll put buttons, just like what we did on the wall. The buttons will actually look pretty nice here, so they'll double as spawn blockers as well as detailing pieces. So this roof is now done as well. Now, I think you guys kind of get the point when it comes to blocking spawns on rooftops, so we're going to go ahead and switch gears and start talking about blocking spawns down low on the surface, because we have a lot of potential space for spawns to happen down here as well. I'll go ahead and finish all of the other rooftops off camera. I'll be pretty much doing the same thing over and over and over again. So spawns down here, this is going to be a little bit more tricky because we don't really have any of the decorations in, but there's a lot of open space for things to spawn. That's a big bad, that's a big problem. So I think I'd like to create some sort of lantern holding pole in this town. So let's go ahead and grab some sandstone and go over here and make a couple sandstone walls, maybe 6 to start with. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it's a start. So maybe sandstone walls and let's say oak logs. Oak logs might look good for this. We'll start with an oak log, then we'll go ahead and do wall, maybe wall, and then another wall like that maybe, and then lantern hanging. It's very simple. It's very simple, but the lantern does light up quite a bit of space. Now, by the way, one thing that I should probably point out here is lighting. Lighting is kind of interesting in Minecraft. So basically, the closer your light source is to the ground or the surface you're trying to light up, the better. We can go ahead and do a little demo of this mechanic over here. So the torch gives off a light level of 14. If we check our light level, we're at 14 currently. If we move one block in either direction, up, down, left, or right, the light level will drop by 1. Interestingly, if we go diagonally, the light level will drop by 2. So now we're at 12, 10, and 8, so on. You kind of get the point. So basically, if we can keep our lanterns on these things closer to the ground, then lighting will be done a little bit more efficiently. But as I keep looking at this thing, I'm not very pleased with it. I don't like it, if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and try and redesign the thing and make it look a little bit better. Let's start off by grabbing maybe one of these fancy chiseled stone things, and then actually some fences. Fences might look better on this. So chiseled stone base, that fits the desert theme a lot more. Then up here, maybe a fence. Oh, okay. Maybe we take that piece off and we do a fence and a fence like that, and then we could do that. That's a little bit better, right? I don't know. I think that's cooler. What if we did 3 fences? Yeah, I think that's my favorite one that I've done so far. What if we did light poles around the town like that? So we do fancy sandstone wall, 3 fences. Oak, or should we do spruce or should we do oak fences? Oak fences might actually look really good. It would be different because we weren't using a lot of oak wood in the town, but I did use a little bit on the doors and such. So how about oak fence, remove that oak fence, and then one more oak fence, and then a lantern. Do we like that a little bit more? That might stand out more from the buildings. I can't decide. The other option is birch fences, but I don't know about that either. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and figure it out. I think what I'll do is I'll build a couple mock-ups and put them next to each other, and then I'll take a look. So here we go. We have spruce all the way over on the left, birch right in the middle, and oak all the way over on the right. Which one is my favorite? Well, this actually makes it really easy. My favorite one is definitely the birch. The oak one just doesn't really match with the town too much. That's more, I don't know, it's just kind of random. And then the spruce one, I think when we put it next to buildings like that, that's not really going to look very good. It'll be way too much spruce. We have a lot of spruce all the way around the town. We have lots of the same brown tone in these oak logs, so doing even more of the same brown tone everywhere, maybe not. So we'll go ahead and use birch fences for the light poles. Now, thankfully, I planted a lot of birch trees over in the field outside of the town, so I'll have plenty of birch wood, or at least the capability to get plenty of birch wood. On some of these poles, we'll do double lanterns like that to make things fancy. Now, that's going to be good and all, but it won't actually deal with everywhere in this town. We'll still have low areas where lighting will be dark. Like back here, I would not put a light pole. This is not along a path. So on the ground in these random areas, we could either do lanterns, but that'll get expensive. So instead, say hello to my beautiful friends known as jack-o'-lanterns. We can actually use jack-o'-lanterns to do a lot of lighting tricks in this town. Now, jack-o'-lanterns will actually double as a nice detailing touch. So, we have a farm area over here. Let's say we put a jack-o'-lantern, maybe, I don't know, let's say over here, at least temporarily. We could do a jack-o'-lantern like that, then we could do a normal pumpkin and a normal pumpkin just like that, and maybe one more there to make a pile of pumpkins. But this one, you can kind of tell based off of the color difference, this is a light source right here, so we're going to have an amazing light level over here. Obviously, I have torches, so that's helping too, but we could do things like that. That will work very, very well, especially in farm areas. Those will also double as details. This is going to be a villager village, and I want things to look busy. I want it to look like things are really happening here, like pumpkin is being grown and produced and, you know, everything like that. Now, we could also go ahead and bury the jack-o'-lantern in the ground, just like that, and then put some bushes right over them, too. Now, the jack-o'-lantern will definitely stand out a little bit here. You can obviously see it in the ground, but, I mean, it works. It removes the potential for spawns in an area, so I think we're going to go ahead and do lots of that as well. Now, obviously, we haven't detailed the town quite yet, so things are subject to change. I might end up swapping things around once we start detailing, but for now, those are the main tricks that I'll be using when lighting up this town. So, lantern poles everywhere, pumpkins lighting the ground in piles, and pumpkins lighting the ground in the ground as well, underneath bushes, probably mainly. And then finally, to cap things off, I will be placing some lanterns on the ground as well. The goal is to remove all spawns from the town now, so I've got a little bit more work to do, but this part of the work should be pretty fun because it's like kind of detailing the town, and I really, really enjoy detail work, so this should be actually pretty fun. But wish me luck, I will be back soon with a fully illuminated, nice and fancy town, and maybe, just maybe, these gates will be finished as well. I don't know though, don't count on it for sure, but something definitely does need to happen to those gates because that's pretty, they look weird right now. But time to go ahead and do a bunch of lighting. Wish me luck, excuse me, cow. Alright, elites, so the project is finally done. It's been a couple more hours, and wow, this episode has been a long project. We had to get a lot done, but finally, everything is done. Now, grand reveal of the town that still doesn't really have a name. I haven't come up with anything quite yet. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Here we go. So, first off, you probably noticed two very gigantic, very strong gate buildings. I think these are really cool. Now, they're definitely very different than the entire desert town, but I don't think that's a problem. I think it looks good, and I really like them. They almost remind me of some sort of like Notre Dame type thing, like a giant attraction, so I think we're gonna actually go ahead and leave these really, really strong gate buildings in. Now, the inside of the town is entirely illuminated as well. We're good inside of there, but let's check these things out. So, I've got this cool detailing thing going on. I changed it up a little bit since the last time you saw it. Then we have an arch, of course, because we always need an arch. Now, right now I have a fence gate. I don't know. I don't think this is going to stay here. This is very underwhelming for such a cool building, but it's what it is for now. Now, on both of the towers, we have a fence gate to get in, so the villagers can't get inside of here. Then a ladder that goes up. We have a second floor where the wall is, so we can go on the wall and walk around at least a little bit, and that is the case for both sides. Then we can go back inside, close the door, and continue to climb the ladder up to the peak area. Now, I need to get one more ladder right there. There we go. So now we can actually get up here a lot easier, but the view up here is really nice. Now, eventually, I think we'll have a bunch of stuff in that field, and yeah, the view will be really good this way. Right now, there's nothing really over there, so this is the nice view. I have another spruce tree that I have to cut down, actually. I was waiting for that. Now, the view over here is also pretty nice. I think this is going to be a really cool vantage point for the town once villagers are actually inside of this thing. Now, perfect timing, it's finally becoming nighttime. I've been waiting around for it to become nighttime so I can show you guys the town. The town, take a look at it. It is staying very, very super bright, which is good. I've gone ahead and gone all the way around this town and eliminated all spawning potential areas with things like light and pressure plates and buttons, but mostly light. Now, the lighting took a long, long time to get done, but it is indeed finally done. I've gone crazy and walked around and looked at it like every single block, and I mean, I haven't seen an 8 quite yet, so I think we have good news. Now, there is one thing that I'd like to point out, and that is this center area over here. So this whole thing is unfinished, so I went ahead and just put torches in here for now. Once we finish the marketplace, probably in the next episode, we'll actually put the real lighting in. We'll do tricks like these posts and lanterns and bushes and pumpkins, but for now, I figured I could probably save myself a lot of time by just placing torches here, because I kind of still don't know what I'm going to put inside of here, but everywhere else is good. I also made some minor adjustments to the paths in here, so things are a little easier to get in once we get them in, probably in the next episode. But I think with all of that, that is just about it for this episode of the Minecraft Guide. Now, kind of fun fact, this is the first episode being recorded after the first Nether update snapshot, which is really cool. Now, the snapshot is amazing, and I'm super excited to see where the Nether update goes. I'm not sure if this world will ever get updated to the Nether update. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I guess we'll just sort of have to see really as to what we're doing in the world and when the Nether update actually comes out. I kind of figured I would see the question a lot in the comments, so I figured I would answer it right here at the end of the episode. But thank you all very, very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, and today I'd like to send a big, big thank you to my patron, Fred Monster. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you all for watching. Go have a great, amazing day. Stay cool. Goodbye, everybody.